You know what? I'm quite curious about the people who are continuously in the habit of flirting. And when I say flirting, I specifically mean with the people. So that's a relationship issue. And now, am I saying right or wrong? Absolutely not. I'm saying that the people who come to me and they want to get rid of this habit because they're now seeing the risks and still they are not able to come out of it. They definitely must be seeing certain benefits and they are trying to weigh their benefits against the risk. And they are now sensing that the risks are more and they want to come out of this habit, but they can't come out of it. That's the real problem. If they continue to stay with this tendency of theirs, they are going to get into soup sooner or later. Some problems, some social issues, some family troubles, right? Losing their peace of mind. But then they are not able to drop that habit. Then it becomes a problem. Now, if you want to have certain solution for this issue of relationship, then how can we approach it? The first is, of course, we have to define. Let's start from the definition of the problem so that it is half solved, as we always say. Let's define what is this flirting about. As I see it, to my definition, I mean that flirting is a superficial exploration of potential benefits of certain relationships without any readiness to take up any risk or liabilities. It will give us certain clues. First, that there is no readiness to take any liability, get into any complications of the relationships, but they want what? They want certain benefits. Now, what type of benefits they would be looking for? One of my friends, I remember, he said once, there is something like this, that you are eating every day at your home, you like the food, you love the food, but still, as a part of the variety, as part of the change, you may want to go out and eat in a hotel. And there you may have more variety. There you may have more choice also. Flexibility and freedom. I agree. I mean, this is completely true. But this is true more about the food or the things like hotels, not with the people. Because food and hotels, they are not reactive. They don't pose any threat to you until you get your stomach upset. Sometimes that too. But with people, it's a different thing. They react, they respond. And these reactions and responses, if at all not managed properly, may get you in trouble. Okay, that's the whole issue it's revolving about. But then let's assume that it's the variety and the need of the change that is one of the reasons for which, and that is one of the benefits for which people are not able to drop this habit. Now, how far this could be true? This could be true only temporarily. Okay, relief. But then for prolonged period, if you are still into that and then you are sensing the risk, etc., and still you are not able to come out of it, there could be or there would be much deeper reasons for that. And what they could be? As I see, there are two main reasons. The first one, what I call as, and let me introduce you this as a concept, your validation of your sexual potential. Now, when I say sexual potential, I'm not necessarily referring to the biological urge. See, what in essence the sexuality is, or the sexual desire is, it is the desire to be immortal. It is the desire to sow your seed in some ground and see it flowering, flourishing in a different form, which actually is your own form because it is your seed. So you are seeing yourself in a different form, and then you get that assurance that even without you, even after you, even beyond you, you will still exist. That's what is the psychological truth of extensive sexual desire. In the same way, the people who are exploring these options of relationships continuously, okay, as if it's an addiction, there is this urge to live forever, to be immortal. So they just validate whether they still can attract people, whether they still can engage the people, okay, whether they still can use them as a ground, as a soil to sow their seeds and see the flowering of the tree through their reactions, through their responses. The second reason could be their innate urge to seek the identity, to receive the identity from the people, which for some reason it has stopped being received from the people they love, from the people with whom they have the long-term committed relationship. And that typically happens, naturally happens, mainly because a proneness gets developed over a period of time, and then people deliberately don't compliment you. They deliberately don't say thank you to you. Okay? Your wife doesn't tell you, or your husband never tells you deliberately, I love you, how much you are beautiful, etc. Nobody does that. But then some people may not handle that. They are constantly in the need to get the validation of their identity also. And that could become one of the reasons for them to again start exploring that type of opportunity outside with other relationship options. So they are trying to see whether the other person is complimenting them, is praising them, saying good to him or her. And that's what is the second reason. Now, if we have understood these reasons and we have also gone through the definition, all these three things will give us certain clue towards the solution. And the real solution could be obviously to work on these 2 or 3 areas. The first one, your urge to see yourself immortal, to exist beyond you. Okay? For that, you need not constrain yourself just with 1 or 2 individuals. Why to do that? Just make a shift. It could be a paradigm shift from being in relationship, that to a superficial relationship with just 1 or 2 people, to something that is much more broader, stronger a relationship with many people at one go. It could be like some sort of social work. It could be some sort of group for whom or for which you are working. And then you will see that in the form of whatever value that you are adding to their lives, you still exist, you still grow multifold, ever than before, even as compared to what you were saying through 1 or 2 individuals. The second work or the shift that you can see is on the identity front. Now, obviously, you will see that the moment you start working on this area, the same thing also gives you the identity, much more multifold than you would have got from just one single individual. Instead of being in relationship, and that to superficial relationship with 1 or 2 people, you can continue to work with people having broader purpose, with a broader purpose. So it's like finding out a bigger ground to sow your seeds and see your tree or your form or your existence multiplying beyond what you are able to see with 1 or 2 people. Does it make sense? I mean, these are just the insights, and these are certain strategies towards the solution of this addiction, if at all you are into it. If you find it sensible, if you think that it is right, then do comment here. Otherwise, if you have other opinions, you have other suggestions or insights, please share. And then connect with this channel, subscribe it, hit the bell icon so that we can continue to talk on these subjects.